In the flickering amber haze of dawn, Nimbus Gayle crouched on the ledge of a soot-streaked bell tower, watching the armored convoy drag itself across the basalt flats. He tugged his weathered poncho tighter and grinned. Their patrol routes hadn't changed in weeks. Predictability was a kindness he rarely expected, but he never failed to use it. Nimbus slipped through the shadows, settling into position. With practiced precision, he swung the cat of nine tails toward the wagon. The weighted ends latched just enough for him to swing low and land silently on the roof. Peering through the rear windows, he scanned for guards. Finding none, he picked the lock and the doors creaked open. He climbed into the back and searched quickly. The chest wasn't hard to find, tucked beneath faded linens and wedged between crates. After tying it securely to his back, Nimbus stepped toward the swinging doors. A glance revealed just enough places to anchor his whip. With one last flick of the wrist, he dropped to the street and blended into the crowd, just another face in the city's bustle. Nimbus never said much about his childhood. People just knew he hadn't come from silk and sunshine. The gutters had taught him survival. Thieves had taught him purpose. But within the guild, he found something steadier, a place that didn't ask about the past, only whether he could be counted on when it mattered. He wasn't proud of who he used to be. Back then, when a job turned sour, he'd vanish without a word, leaving the crew to deal with the fallout. That was just how things went. But now, he wasn't sure he could do that again. Not to the guild, not to the friends who trusted him. The Voxirye Guild had given him more than shelter. They didn't just wash the grime from his coat, they cleared something heavier from his chest. They offered him a quiet place to rest, dry and still, far from the cold alleys and the hunger that gnawed through bone. It wasn't just a home, it was trust. And it had started to change it. The manor's vault door didn't open with the expected click. Instead, a shrill metal screech echoed down the corridor, followed by shouts and the thud of boots on marble. They were boxed in. One exit had collapsed in a blast meant as a distraction, and the hall behind them was already filling with palace guards and gold-trimmed armor. The prize, just behind the vault, was only paces away. Nimbus saw it. He also saw Jackson's bleeding leg, and Ulfredo, hands shaking as he struggled to cast a barrier spell. In another life, Nimbus would have been gone through the window without a backward glance. But this time, he stepped forward, arrows whizzing past him. He snapped the cat o' nine tails toward the wall lamps, shattering them in bursts of flame. A sheet of fire spilled across the corridor, cutting off the guards just long enough for the crew to escape into the smoke. Back beneath the warm stone arches of the Voxirye Guild, the crew gathered near the hearth. Lamplight glinted off the basalt walls, soft and steady. The air smelled of herbs and rain-damp stone. Nimbus leaned against a wide bench, boots scuffed, breath still uneven. Jackson sat with one leg propped up, pale but lucid. Ulfredo dropped beside Nimbus, voice hoarse but grinning, and clapped him on the shoulder. "I knew you wouldn't abandon us." Jackson nodded, meeting Nimbus's gaze, sincerely. "We owe you." Soon the talk turned to a second attempt at the manor, tighter, cleaner, no missed steps. Nimbus gave a quiet nod. The prize was still out there, and this time, they'd be ready.